Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame Raven in front of you, and I was guided again on a bit of a trail today. Very cool information coming up here, and I definitely wanted to bring this to you. I had a nice surprise. My sister dropped by unexpectedly, and I ended up getting a really nice massage of my injured shoulder, which actually feels a little bit better since she worked on it, so that was a nice surprise today. But that's why I'm getting this read done so late. But the information was really important, so I wanted to get it out to you guys. And also because today is December 6th, which is the Lovers, the 6th, and the day adds up to the 30, which is the Four of Wands. So we have the Lovers and the Union energy here. The 6th also can be love, family, and community, more of the practical side of love. And the 30 is also a 3, which is being authentic to yourself, expressing yourself in that way, coming together with others, being in joy, coming together with siblings as well, is under the number 3. But this is the 30 of the Four of Wands, the home, the heart is the home, and the union energy, and then the Lovers. So before I finished the read, I was getting some downloads. So at 9:36 this morning, I was getting It's a Hard Knocks Life. So that was from seeing the Page of Pentacles. I was getting the Student of Hard Knocks. Then at 9:40, so 9:36 is the Hermit and the 10 of Wands. And I woke up at 8:36, so the 10 of Wands was important here because I know it was repeated again. And also 16, the Tower was coming up. I didn't get... I did want to tell you too, I did a read last night and I was getting 16 candles. So that was important to come up. And it was again a test, right? It's a toggle up test for the Divine Masculine. The Mary Magdalene After Death dance, the 8, and toggling up to the nth degree with 16 candles. So whether it's a birthday party or just a tower event, just testing your perseverance in staying present and not reacting. Regarding surrender, financial discipline, and physical activity. That was last night. So 36, again, like I said, is important here with the 10 of Wands. The carrying too much burden, literally hard labor. So somebody could be going through hard labor as well. But the 9 is the Hermit, and the carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders, the Hard Knocks Life, the Student of Hard Knocks. Then the 9:40 is the Hermit and the Page of Cups, which is that innocent love and the Hermit. That could be a child with an old man, like a grandfather and child and a new baby. And then for that time I was getting left hanging. All right, so that was obviously has to do with the hangman, but someone felt like they're left hanging. Maybe got stuck with a child as well, a baby, which I think actually comes up in the read today. 9:46 to 47, which is the Children in the Garden, the 6 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups, the Synchronicities. And I got the changing of the guards. And I started sweating at the changing of the guards. And and actually Taurus and Cancer energies were coming up there. And the Fool, which is Aries. So that was coming up around the changing of the guards. 9:53 to 54, which is the 53 is the Catapult, but it's also the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. So a lot of messages, the messenger coming in quickly with a message, and also could just be online messages as well, news, that kind of thing, or a child spreading the word. The Knight of Cups at that moment flew out of the deck and reversed its position to make it upright, landing in the position of the environment of the Divine Masculine on the 8 of Swords, which was reversed in this read, being freed to offer love. And the way I put the clarifiers down, there was one empty space. So it was like the Knight of Cups flipped onto that card, because that's not the card I was clarifying, in order to fill that space. So we'll get to that when I get into the read. But the Knight of Cups flew out, up, and changed direction, upright, to offer love. To offer love, defenseless to the Ace of Cups, offer of love. Finding peace with the Queen of Swords, and truth about injustice of Libra energy or justice reversed. Defenseless to his offer of love, and of course, yes. And it was kind of a message for some Divine Masculines. It's not going to be for everyone. that his offer is love is him going through a divorce. You know, that's obviously a big deal. So that was coming up for somebody. And the Knight of Cups coming back to answer yes to the Ace of Cups offer. So there's a lot of beautiful energy in this read today. The masculine read was done at 9:55, which is the Hermit and the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, the Truth. The let's see. Oh, with the underlying energy, when I was writing down the major arcana, because we have the Strength card and Alchemy. Alchemy is like the Temperance card. But then the underlying energies below the Strength card, which is before the read, there was 4 major arcana in a row before the Strength card, which is also major arcana. We had Reason, which is the Emperor, Justice, Luna, the Moon, and then Higher Self, which is the High Priestess. So 4 of those underneath the Strength card, which was actually reversed today, so weakness there. And then Alchemy. So Strength and Alchemy were the main cards in the read, the major arcana, which is Leo and Sag, and Aries was also a big deal as well, because the Emperor came up many times in the underlying energy, as you can see right in front of you. So there was a definite power-packed punch coming into this read of fire, which equates to drama, but also to the, you know, quanta energy, the third energy, the divine energy. So we had three cups here, 2 wands, and 4 swords, right? So very much in their heads, worried about stuff, but there's a lot of cup and emotional heart energy here and action. There were no pentacles coming up here. We have the Page of Cups in the read, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Swords. So 2 knights, 2 pages. And the numbers, we had double 10, so that keeping that very high vibration of the trill, the 1010, which is the double 10s. And there wasn't much else in the numbers. We did have some numbers. We had 324 is one of the numbers that came up, 45, which is the 5 of Cups, 78, the 10 of Pentacles, 12, the Hangman, 24, the Queen of Wands, 56, the 2 of Swords, 67, the Knight of Pentacles, and then 810 also came up. On the code line, the numerology deck was all about forgiveness. The Coffee Cup Infinity Pool is in this card. The code line added up to 16 with 5, 7, and 4, which is the Hierophant, the Chariot, and the Emperor, which were very significant in this read. It actually starts with a couple Emperors and ends on the Chariot. And the Hierophant significant here in the underlying energy as well. So the code line being all about forgiveness came up with a lot of things were coming up in here, but this is what set off the chain reaction of information to collect here. We have definitely alcoholism is coming up here with somebody with alcohol issues, but also can just be the alchemist, the alchemizing of the situation, the negative energies into the positive energies, the nickel into gold. The bridge was coming up, the gateway, the Hierophant, the aid, or the name Ade, A-D-E again, the I from yesterday of the Io Anna, so Io, I-O, well Io in Italian is I anyway, but Io and Anna mean grace, or even, what's the word I'm thinking of? So it means grace. There's a lot of definitions of it, but also goddess in reference to grace. But the code line was 16, 574 equals 16. So around forgiveness, the 16 candles, a tower moment. So a sudden explosion, eruption, event, epiphany, and that can be an orgasm as well. That was all coming up on the code line. I, Sophia, the divine feminine collective consciousness, the feminine godhead, Aid or Ade, with the freedom to change and expand, or the Hierophant and or Taurus energies of the gateway of the feminine within the masculine, alchemizing the Page of Cups, or the innocent love of the new child, the new love, the puppy love, and seeking union, the home of forgiveness. So Ioanna, Sophia, which equated to the same yesterday, if you followed my message yesterday, aid the expansion of the bridge so that the chariot will fit or accommodate the Page of Cups they're drinking. Or it could be they're alchemizing, becoming bigger, something more than they were before. But definitely there's alcoholism coming up here. So it's funny how they were talking about expanding the bridge so the Page of Cups would get over the bridge safely. Or with the Sophia energy, the Ioana, the alchemist, seeing the temperature rise in the hour of forgiveness when the time comes. And then I was getting, your eyes are like infinity, pooling in my coffee cup and beyond. And then I was getting, Hosanna, hey, Zana, 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 Hosanna, hey, Zana, Hosanna. Hey, JC, JC, won't you fight for me? Zana, I'm going too low. Zana, hey, superstar. And then Jesus, or whoever it was in the movie, replied for Jesus Christ Superstar, why waste your breath moaning at the crowds? Nothing can be done to stop the shouting. If every voice were still, the noise would still continue. The rocks and stones themselves would start to sing. All right, so this was going on for your eyes are like infinity pooling in my coffee cup and beyond. So we go into Hosanna, Hazana, which references the Ioana again. So Hosanna, Haze, Anna. Hose referencing the whore or the goddess, and the haze, Anna, of the haze and the grace of the goddess, right? The goddess, the haze can be someone who's kind of in a dream world, right? Whereas the Ho, Anna, is the whore goddess. So it has to do with the shadow and the light, just like Eve and Lilith in the Garden of Eden. So then Zana, of course, was coming up because we're talking about Hey Zana, Hosanna, which came up for supernaturalfandom.com, a type of creature that acts as guides and guardian angels to children in need of them, or in other words, the imaginary friend. So also came up as a genus of lantern bugs in Asia and Africa, mostly gray with black speckles and a long snout and some folds on the surface. Another heading came up, Zana, the name in Hebrew, is actually Lily, which definitely for me was referencing Lilith. Also a form of Susanna, Sana, and Susan, and Susanna. To man, woman is shadow, and to woman, man is shadow. Adam and Lu, Eve and Lilith, both Els or Elohim, any which way you put it. My feminine, just as an example, or any feminine who asserts herself, is a masculine trait, was seen as a whore or a bitch, a hoe, or was hazed for living in another world. So these were some of the messages coming up from that code line. So again, some of the message from the code line had to do with also being sad about the feminine or the karmic energy of the feminine and the change of the bridge and the gateway, the chariot of ascension, the divine feminine within the masculine, and the fuel, the alky or the alchemy is the fuel for the puppy love. To see the I am presence, the Sophia, the Ioana, the Nana, N-Anna, the Jesus's counterpart, their grace, their goddess, in the hour of forgiveness. And also the name Ofeg came up, O-F-E-I-G, which was coming up, I think, in Denmark. That name was coming up, and then the chariot, the Alki and the alchemist, the Page of Cups, the student of the heart, and the masculine to see his I am present as the emperor of forgiveness. So then, looking up the name O-F-E-I-G, because I didn't know it was a name, but it was part of the code line. And it came up on a name site that describes information about names. So for that name, it came up as you desire to understand and help others with their problems, but at the same time, you could be too involved and then worry as a result. Pleasant, easygoing, responsible, and avoids issues, putting off until tomorrow what you should have done today, difficult achieving success in positions requiring aggressiveness or quick decisions, or in other words, the masculine energy. And in the work field, it should be something that requires responsibility and diplomacy and in contact with people, but others at times can take advantage of your gentle nature if your name is Ophig. Health weaknesses of this name affect the fluid functions. That was interesting. So anyway, this was from, it was Babynology, I think it was. I'm just trying to remember the spelling of the website. But it was about baby names. And I think it said Babynology. And also, Kabbalarian.com, philosophy in Vancouver, Canada, came up here. And then from the Oxford Dictionary, Anna, which also was referenced as goddess from the information I pulled up yesterday, is former type of money from India and Pakistan. It equal to 1/16 of a rupee, which the 16 came up as the 16 candles last night and again today on the code line. The tower, or the root first chakra, the red chakra, in the biblical definition, is the Greek version of the Hebrew Hannah, which equals grace or favor or beautiful for Anna. Anna is also the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She saw Jesus at the temple and recognized him at once as the long-awaited Messiah. Anne is also, Anne, without the A on the end, is referenced as gracious in French, and the Latin Anna equals Greek Ava, or A-V-V-A, which also equates to Aveline, which is also Evelyn, which came back to me, which was pretty cool. Then the Frisian, in Frisian, F-R-I-S-I-A-N, their culture, a male name from Old Germanic, it meant eagle. There was an Anna of East Anglia that was an Anna, but a man. In Vedic, the Kritika Nakshatra, the old name of the Pleiades, the son of Shiva, and Lord the sun, or Surya, or fire. It was Taurus 6 degrees of Gemini, and it was interesting because I looked at my name, and my name was the same, which is interesting because I don't equate Evelyn, the energy for Evelyn at all with Anna, because the Annas I knew were always much more bold than I was, which is definitely comes up as the definitions for Anna. But just so, because Evelyn's so close to Eve, I wanted to pull up the definitions for you guys as well, because that references the Garden of Eden. So, and Evelyn just references little Eve, so it's the same thing just as the little girl of Eve. So Evelyn means life, and in Latin also bird, which you hear me talking about birds all the time, which is funny. Also little bird or hazelnut, also can be desired, light, hazelnut, giver of life, companionship and harmony, lively and pleasant, and again, like it can be a masculine name as well, a living being, Hawa in Hebrew. Instead of Yahweh or Yahweh, it's very similar to that. Instead of Y-A-W-A-H, am I saying it right? Or E-H rather. This one is H-A-W-A-H, but very similar since I brought the acronyms up yesterday of Yahweh and then the feminine counterpart, which wasn't allowed in history, which had a very similar acronym. So going on from that, we go back to the Io, or the Ioanna, the Sophia, the whole trail of feminine godhead names that came up as all equating with each other yesterday. Uriel, the face of the angel, and Anahita, the angel of grace. In Adam and Eve, Uriel, the fire of God, the light of God, is regarded as the spirit, the one of the cherubs. Of the 3rd chapter of Genesis, also the angel of thunder and earthquake, the wielder of the fiery sword in driving Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, and also in Light's Ezra. And then I was getting specifically to me was blind, but now they see. And that was from Britannica.com, the other information. With visions and generally referenced as the angel of terror, prophecy, and mystery. The regent of the sun, the sharpest sighted spirit of all in heaven, watches over the world and the lowest part of hell. This is referencing Uriel. So Uriel initially listed under Phanuel, but the Book of Enoch distinguishes the two. So there's obviously a lot of discrepancy online about whether they're the same or different angels. So I went on to en.m.wikipedia.org, and Uriel initially listed under Phanuel, like I said, but the Book of Enoch distinguishes the two. Uriel, God is my light, and Phanuel, turn to God. In regulation, in Revelations of Astros, the angels that will be here at the end of the world were Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Gabuthalan, Beberos, Nebulion, and Acher, Afugatonos, and they ID'd with Phanuel, and that literally is the face of God. And then Uriel I was getting as angel face. So I'm not sure if they are the same or two separate angels, because there's differences there. So I'll have to meditate on that and see what comes up. But Anahita, like I said yesterday, comes up as the stepmother, right? Or the adopted mother of the archangels and the actual mother of the angels. Anahita being, just like Sophia, all the Godhead feminine energies. And that was BibleStudyTools.com. And then back in en.m.wikipedia.org, Phanuel, face of God, father of Anna, prophetic Anna, and that was Luke 2:36, ruler of the Ophanim. Also, there's different spellings of all of these things. Orpheal with an F or a PH. And then there was a picture there of an Ethiopian scroll with the lion of Judan, which was a prayer against evil. But again, this ties everything back to Anahita and Anna, to yesterday and Ethiopia. So it was very cool how everything keeps coming back to the same thing. Yeah, the Asher tribe with the daughter Anna, who Anna, when she was 84, she saw the Jesus baby in the manger. Or maybe not in the manger, but in the church later. All right, so the counterpart of Uriel comes up as Aurora. And I was getting very high vibrational energies in some of the comments there. So Phanuel versus Uriel. Phanuel could stress celestial, this was a great website. So Marquette.edu by Adreia Orlov. And this was when I was looking up Phanuel versus Uriel, right? Is one different than the other, or are they one and the same? So this article was very interesting. It said Phanuel could stress celestial status of Uriel. Also Sariel, one of the divine servants of the divine Panem. Phanuel and place Peniel are etymologically connected. And they were referencing a lot from Jacob's Ladder. So all three names, the Phanuel, the Sariel, and the Uriel, helps guide the visionaries in acquiring or identifying their new celestial entity. And I wanted to get you to this point because then it literally quotes, the process of establishing twinship with the heavenly counterpart might be reflected in the initiatory procedure of becoming a Sarha-Panim, Sarha-Panim, one of the angelic princes of the divine face or presence, the prominent celestial office, which is often described in detail in various apocalyptic and Merkaba accounts. And they reference 1 Enoch 71 and 2 Enoch 22, 6 through 10. So the Enoch initiation transformed and identified with Son of Man in front of God's throne into one of the princes of presence. So they were literally talking about when they come for their counterpart to get their reflection. They come to the throne of God as princes and they transform into a glorious being. This is their twinship. But they noted that even though now there's this bright light shining within and burning from their eyes, there's no observable difference in their face. A new face, which mirrors or doubles the face of the Lord, was a metaphor for the similarity between the visionary's face and the face, or the face of God, both luminous. Then his face was chilled, so the humans would be able to look at him. And then I was getting the fire and ice, right? So the fire of that third energy, but then God was chilling the fire for him to go back to earth so that humans would actually be able to look at his face because they couldn't handle the light that would have been coming from his face. The fiery face now resembles Kavod, K-A-V-O-D, and then they were referencing the partnering of Enoch and Metatron. The process also recounted metamorphosis into the Sar-Ha-Panim. They reference Jacob and Israel. Their initiation involves another servant of the face. The angel Sariel, whose last name Phanuel reflects his close proximity to God. So here we're referencing Sariel and Phanuel as the same name or the same entity. Sariel, Uriel, Phanuel, along with other angel of presence, Michael actively participated in the initiation of another prominent servant of the divine face, Enoch and Metatron. So this is bringing them all together. And then, like I said, Jacob's ladder was referenced a lot in this. Prayer of Joseph are silent about transformation of body and face. But another Jacob story, the 27th reference here, the eyes of Jacob, similar to the eyes of the transformed Metatron, are emitting flashes of lighting. So it's very cool. I would check this out if you'd like to see that, because it literally quotes the process. This is from college, okay? Marquette, MARQUETTE.edu by Andre A. Orlov. So ADANDREI, like Ray, but with I instead of Y. Middle initial A and last name Orlov, O-R-L-O-V. So check it out. And then there's lots of different references. There's so many different sources that rank what the actual first 7 angels were, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to go into that. So we get into the reading now. We start with the Strength card. And like I said, there's a power pack punch here with Reason or the Emperor here. Justice card here. The Moon, and then the Higher Self or the High Priestess with the Strength card on top. And before we even start, I'm going to tell you the central energy. The central energy is the Alchemy card, upright. So having that patience and balance. And the challenge here today, so the central energy is all about patience and having patience, being calm. And the challenge being the Page of Cups reversed, which has to do with emotional immaturity and or kids. But it's, overall it has to do with emotional immaturity. It has a lot of different character meanings. It can reference an adult or a child. But either way, it references emotional immaturity. So the patience is there, but the emotional immaturity, whether it be of the Divine Masculine or those around him or even children, there's a lot of child energy in this read today. There was 2 knights and 2 pages. Those energies were actually all upright except for the Page of Cups. And then for the clarifiers, there's more pages than just those 2 pages. So there's a lot of kid energy here. And that could be adults acting like kids or the Divine Masculine spending time around a lot of kids. So the weakening of reason, the Emperor reversed, with injustice at the full moon, false light, with secret out, or low use of intuition at the full moon. Leo, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Pisces. And like I said before, the major arcana were very much about all of the fire signs today. Conflict, competition, fighting, games, and the quest of the sun, exposure and fully energized, like a child, free and naked, stripped of all masks. Weakened by exposure of wrath, living in the past with the devil, addictions, codependencies, the ball and chain, restricting freedom to come and go as you please, and third, no arousal, frustrated, anger, or unable to conceive, thus no affection, no lover, breakup, indecision, no quanta. So then the Leo, Capricorn, and Gemini came up here in the underlying energy, and Leo's fixed, Capricorn's cardinal, and Gemini's mutable. So it's covering all the bases here. And that could be a baseball game because that was referenced too. Oh, it just reminded me. I love how Spirit reminds me of things. I meditated really quickly before this read for you guys as I came on. And what I saw was, first I see someone getting tackled, and then I realized it was a football game. And then the football player, after getting tackled, in a big way, gets up to run with the ball, but runs the wrong way. And then the football player turns into a baseball player. And then the baseball player collapses into the corner onto the ground in total confusion. All right, so that's the energy coming up for the masculine. Exposure to more Capricorn and Gemini in the rough. Pushed through the rock, sunshine pulled it out of the ground, and the goat, or the Capricorn, pushing it up from behind, never to give up the climb. The magician upright manifesting with DNA strand, and the sealed divine feminine in another realm, dropping the act, breaking patterns, and allowing the fall. At work, implementing a plan to magnetize gold coin, save money, or plan for a new life with the Emperor reversed, in ego death, or abusing their power. Manifesting completion of cycle by taking the fall at work, the Emperor reversed secretly planning a new life through hedge, portal, or man who passed, but distribution of inheritance has yet to be implemented. No more the constant gardener of great riches. Now he is the seed to be planted, renewing the cycle of life, or the Emperor reversed, feeling weak or ill, can't make sense of the injustice at night without his secret passion, without intuition. Weak from exposure to happiness, leaving the devil in the past, vacillating worthiness of divine lover after all that has passed. Feeling a failure under the radar, the King of Swords reversed, buried 6 feet under the Emperor reversed. Feels that dead, or the Emperor reversed has buried him with so much work, pain, and betrayal, unending pain. Icing and acupuncture, but no relief, or lies or harsh words have taken them down. Make an effort came up in the underlying energies for romance angels, and underneath that was forgiving and learning. The Hierophant reversed, out with the full moon, as we are waxing into it. The false light taking advantage of the young innocence, a bad man in charge, religious or other leadership position, or old man who's losing his mind. Also CTE was coming up here about the concussion issues. Then it's at 116, which is the Magician and the Tower, so the sudden event, or a divorce coming up, a break in contract, or alternative spirituality, out-of-the-box thinking. So at 116, we then have Synchronicities, expanding and awakening. And I was feeling a lot of pressure in my face today when I was doing the read. Usually for for me, that means that my twins fighting or upset, something like that. But I was getting a lot of that energy today. But Synchronicities, expanding and awakening, and ideas. Capricorn reversed, Aries reversed, Taurus reversed, and Cancer upright here. Working with others, looking out the window for lovers, or relief of the Garden of Eden, and inspecting Eve at the glass ceiling. With caterpillar about to transform and break free from her ties that bind. The blade is sharp, mirror and chalice in hand or nearby, scroll work in hearts, and plant to ground, tools of preparation of flame, using synchronicities and lilies as guides. Possibly start a book of Enoch. No, Genesis is better. Then tossing the good book aside to begin the inspection, The turtle tired of being slow to the dessert and candles, and tired of watching other lovers, and only dreaming of his. The Taurus reversed and Cancer upright in awakening. Health comes up as number 71, which is the Three of Pentacles, and underneath that was manifestation, number 8, which is the Strength card, but that's reversed in this read today. So either needing the courage and strength or feeling weak or ill. Unable to rest or sleep with heart stress, feeling like it's going to burst out of his chest like the Grinch. Carrying a heavy load, fireworks and such, back-breaking work at night before the moon is full, getting a lot done. No pain, no gain, the worst is over, in exile, out in the cold or cold weather, injured or with kids, or ER visit. The Hierophant reversed or Taurus, with a divorce or breaking contract, finding peace in the night, with sudden explosion, eruption, or epiphanies, or an epiphany in the quiet. The frog in the grass spying on the woman at night rowing by, curtains all wrapped up, and the house suddenly erupts or falls apart. Or just finding peace in spirituality, epiphanies and or orgasm. And that right there was when my sister showed up. Very interesting. And that was at 6, and then I came back to start writing again at 6:16 p.m. because my sister was here for a long time. But it was very nice, and we had dinner together, and she worked on my shoulder, which was amazing. So suddenly weak at 6:16, which is the Lovers and the Tower. Suddenly weak, the Emperor reversed, times 2. Either awakened with ideas, or out of control big head, or swelling with health issues suddenly. Recently is the Seven of Cups upright, the Stairway to Heaven and Synchronicities, too tired and weak to climb the stairs, or resisting change and out of control, Leo or ego, or needing the courage for the Empress. Sudden weakness or near death, the Foundation is the Knight of Wands upright, with unhappy family or end of emotional cycle, with the King of Cups and no option but divorce, a breaking contract, and holding their tongue, or getting moving, out and about, so they don't have to deal with the Taurus or Hierophant reversed and their verbal abuse, lies, or silent treatment. Or 2 old men, one who's good but with an unhappy family, and the other old man verbally abusive and miserable. The central energy is alchemy, like I said, the Temperance card upright, the Knight of Wands, patient, wounded warrior. At night, the Queen of Cups reversed, with the High Priestess reversed, being foolish with the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Or Pisces with no intuition, or can't keep a secret, and making a fool of themselves in front of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who is ignoring her. Suddenly the Emperor reversed is weak, kids fighting, the Devil or the Capricorn leaves or suddenly returns, and Gemini totally frustrated. So we have a feminine Taurus. Well, actually, there's both. We have the feminine Taurus is upright, the masculine Taurus reversed here. Scorpio's reversed. We have a Leo upright and Leo reversed as well. Cancer's upright, Pisces is reversed, and Aries is also upright and reversed. 2 different Aries. Scorpio and Aries or Leo not getting along, or Scorpio, Leo, and Aries, and Sagittarius, defensive, wounded warrior, getting out of there. It's not working, or they're overworking in deliberations of poor judgment, or no judgment or announcement, and the world is upside down. The challenge being the Page of Cups reversed, rejected or vulnerable, shy, or it could be a baby crying, or spoiled child walking away, suffering in silence, sharing with others, saving and grounding, holding on loosely, and starting over again. No decision from the Ten of Pentacles family, which comes up for me as the Montagues, or large institution. Injustice or Libra reversed, stuck with the baby, or rejected, or falling on face from grace, or lacking faith in self. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, Aries, or with Aries in her chart, expressing feelings or telling a secret. And the Page of Cups reversed, Sagittarius, is standing in their truth, but in their war stance. The Sagittarius wounded warrior is weak but still fighting. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, Aries, and the Queen of Cups reversed, Pisces, patiently standing their ground with swords on standby. The Three of Swords, third-party heartbreak, the Page of Cups reversed, finding the words without saying a word. The Page of Pentacles drinking, a student or opportunity to hurt each other. And the Page of Wands having a temper tantrum or actually just eating some pie, because TT is pie, or just tired and uninspired and wanting to start over again. The Sovereign helping others, and the King of Wands reversed suffering in silence and separation with 4 kids, or with 2 kids, a baby and a teen mom or a babysitter. Finding peace in pain, bleeding out, fighting on the move to get chores done and release all their burdens. Now the Knight of Cups suddenly trips or drops the ball, dropping the facade and breaking patterns. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups reversed could just be the Knight of Wands jealous in the past with sudden explosions, or sudden epiphanies, or spontaneous orgasms when looking at another Knight of Cups upright, third party, in his coffee cups. Partners unstable, moving or ending marriage, or big party is ending or canceled or delayed. But all of this, no matter what it is being shown here as a good thing, that it's destined to happen. Or the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, third party, moving in together, and or patient with each other, despite rejection. No jealous explosions with this Knight of Cups. New love with dream family and synchronicities, or options yet. It's saying new love with dream family and synchronicities, or lots of options, and yet the masculine seeing no date. Weak or out of control, Leo or ego out of prison or anxiety and holding back money for dream life or to heal. The Queen of Wands reversed healing and separation due to third party with fantasy family, or overindulging King of Wands reversed, unhappy without the Knight of Pentacles offering peace or work. 7-16, we have the 16 here again, the Tower, and the 7 of the Chariot. Not the big tower, because the Chariot's a whole lot of power behind it. In physical separation, bleeding out, the Hermit reversed while out in the cold, together fighting and kissing to make up. The King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, making a bold move to dump their burdens. Soon is the Page of Swords upright, a message, news, a child spreading the word about dumping all their responsibilities in an awakening, and the Page of Cups reversed, walking away and within. The King of Pentacles presents the truth to the Knight of Pentacles with their back turned, or the King of Pentacles triumphs because the Knight of Pentacles can't face the truth between them. Yet they're awakened and offering love to the King of Pentacles by message. The Divine Masculine sees himself as the 5 of Swords upright, at war stance, but coming off as the Knight of Wands rushing in passionately, with a message to clarify insult to injury, out in the cold, left behind, injured, in exile or destitute. The Page of Wands reversed, uninspired or unable to do something because of an injury. The Page of Wands reversed, unable to manifest with him as the Knight of Wands, but he's also the 5 of Swords. The Divine Masculine standing firm, while the Knight of Wands, if that's someone different than him, is busy with kids, clearly with issues and injuries keeping him busy, or adults acting like kids. The Divine Masculine Knight of Wands wanting passion, and the Page of Swords very clear with their message. The Page of Pentacles injured physically, in and out of the hospital, or that's the Page of Wands reversed, or a third one who's ill, tired or uninspired or out of control, and him expected to manifest for them all. Past life, relationship, reconciliation, and heart-to-heart conversations are here for the masculine. Around him or how he is seen is the 8 of Swords reversed, the release from anxiety or prison, defenseless to offer of love, finding peace in the Queen of Swords, talking about injustice, or Libra reversed, to fill the cup, or him hoping she will be defenseless and find peace with his offer, down on one knee. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the 4 of Wands reversed, moving in together, or 2 children unstable, or worried that one will run away when the sadness is over of the 2, or one lets go of the past, or worried about kids running away or stealing if offered something practical. Forgiveness comes up, but even more so love partnership and karmic completion for the masculine, finding peace with the Knight of Cups, ending painful romance and separation of the Hermit reversed, the King of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed all in a row, out in the cold with twisted pillars in the way, the King and Queen of Wands both reversed, fighting and playing games, now in a bold move to drop all burdens or dump a load. The 10 of Cups reversed is the end of a cycle of pain and betrayal, not sleeping in physical separation, but rising above as sovereign at work, implementing a plan in a new emotional cycle. Soulmates finding peace with new love, the Knight of Cups offering love to the Page of Pentacles, studying their gold coin, a match made in heaven, the Chariot heads for the coast. And that was at 7:44 to 45, which is the Four of Cups to the Five of Cups, which has to do with mastering, grounding, and integrating, then to the Five of Cups of the feeling of grief or not letting go of the third baton to either finish the race or go back and start over again. So the Emperor reversed in injustice, something unfair at night or the full moon, with the inability to keep a secret or the secret is out about weakness, sick or in need of courage to keep his eye on the prize. The Knight of Wands at war to release prisoner and take the steps or follow synchronicities and be patient, to alchemize one step at a time, challenged by that Page of Cups reverse, spoiled child or baby crying, or shy, vulnerable, or rejected by the Page of Swords, spreading the word about a move or end of marriage or a party that's been canceled. The Knight of Cups offering love in a painful end or betrayal, or just to help back pain, to find peace together in peace with new love. The Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles driving off into the sunset. Too weak to climb the stairs or needing courage to follow their synchronicities, or a fire sign out of control and suddenly fighting on the stairs, and that can be kids fighting around the house too. Scorpio and Leo or Taurus, Capricorn and Gemini could be there too. The Knight of Wands alchemizing with the Knight of Cups, patient with each other, challenged by the Page of Cups reversed, and the Divine Masculine at war with the Page of Swords, released from prison and moving in a painful end or betrayal or back pain or treatments of back pain, using love from the Knight of Cups. Ending an unhappy family or emotional cycle with soulmates or twin flames finding peace in self-love, new love, with the Knight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles in a bold move forward. So that's your read for today. I am going to pull some oracle cards, so let's see what comes up for today. All right, so from the Ascension deck, everyone take a deep breath. It's December 6, 2019, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies from the field and filling the empty spaces with only beautiful love and diamond light across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so for everyone here, well, let's go with Uriel. Uriel, can you help us out today? What does everyone need to know? What is the point of this read? What is the main takeaway message? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? All right. So Fire Dragons is the first card out, but I have some cards to count here as well. Just give me 1 second. Just see how many cards they want me to count. Is that 1, 2? Yep, okay. So the bottom of the deck is the Gold and Silver Violet Flame, which you can read if you like. It's number 4, the Emperor. The first card out was the Fire Dragons, which is number 7, the Chariot. So we have the Emperor, the Chariot, and what? The Hierophant came up in the code line. So that's 2 of the 3 already. These 3 cards came out with Fire Dragons, but Fire Dragons was definitely ahead of them. So we have Hilarion, number 46, which is the 6 of Cups, the Children of the Garden. We also have Archangel Metatron's Cloak, 51, which is the King of Swords. And then we have Earth, which is number 14, which is the Temperance card. So Fire Dragon says dragons are 4th dimensional elementals. They can access and transmute heavy vibrations that angels cannot reach. Archangel Gabriel oversees Thor and his fire dragons. You're asked to send out fire dragons supervised by Gabriel to consume negativity in places and auras, and then ask Gabriel's angels to replace the lower energies with a shimmering diamond of pure light. Call on a fire dragon to transmute any stuck energy in your own aura and to light you up at a higher frequency so that you can radiate enthusiasm and joy. And the affirmation is, I invoke fire dragons to clear my path to ascension. Very interesting. So we're talking about, you know, seeing the face of God and becoming a ball of fire, basically, that needs to be iced in order to come back to being human again. All right, so all about transmutation and calling in fire dragons. But Gabriel comes up here, but also Uriel, and that's who we called in on this. All right, so we have Metatron also came up, and Hilarion, and then let me just count the cards that came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 came out twice, the Temperance card, which was the center card of the read today. Alchemy and patience and balance. And the top card on the 14 cards is 39, which is the Knight of Cups, which was very much all over the read today in the upright position, which is nice. So patience and balance, you guys. Metatron's coming up here, Hilarion, and the fire dragons with Gabriel. And then again, the bottom was the gold and silver violet flame, which is number 4. So 4, 7, 14, 39, 46, and 51. And Commander Ashtar, too. And Ash been coming up. The Ash, what was the Ash family? That Anna was part of the Ashtar family. So that was coming up too today. Let's see what comes up from the past life deck. Okay, so take another deep breath. This is for the past life deck for December 6, 2019. For the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Okay, I'm going to go with Uriel again. What is it we need to know? What is it we need to learn? If you can tell us anything about yourself and your name. So we have Scriber Writer is reversed. It's the first card out. Then we have 2 more, which I'll show you in just a second because I have more cards I have to count. Okay. And then Father reversed is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. So just give me a second to look at the cards. The second 2 cards, besides the Scribe and the Writer that came out, is Forgiveness again, reversed, and Spirituality and Religion came out together. Okay, so just give me a moment. The Scribe or Writer reverse definitely can be, to take a break from journaling or writing right now if you do a lot of that, to focus more on your abilities and to meditate, to ask your questions directly. Like, I do a lot of research from the downloads that I do get, but saying maybe to pull back from that a little bit and use your energies more. It's saying you can open a book right here. So this is upright. It's about the candle and, writing something. It could be something sealed, a message sealed, written with a very nice scribe. But it's saying, not right now. You have spirituality and religion. You see there's a book open, but also the hands are opened. And you see that the wedding ring is on the right, not the left hand. It's being connected to yourself, using your higher knowledge, right? And getting your information from yourself as opposed to always looking in a book, following the light and using your chakras. And again, at the I'm hoping I'll get more specific message about the unforgiveness. Because it's not about forgiveness, it's about the unforgiveness. It's like, shoot, is it Brian's song that said that? Love means never having to say you're sorry. Especially with your twin, because you know, because you're connected. It's like saying don't wait for forgiveness or to be forgiven to break the ice. Use your abilities. Open your chakras, open your mind, open your third eye. Connect. Use your direct information. I have a lot of cards to count here too. Let me see what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I knew 16 was going to come up again. So again, we have the tower energies of the sudden events, epiphanies. Use your epiphanies, use your connection. The bottom of this group that I had to count is food and hunger, but it's reversed. So it's not about food and hunger, right? Because this would be about someone who's in need of food and hunger. And this one not. So maybe you need to eat more. Like you have food, but you're not eating. So focus on your nutrition. This isn't about being poor or starvation. This is about you just not feeding yourself properly because you're too busy or you're writing too much, focusing too much on your work and not taking time to relax and take care of your health. Again, open a book, but sometimes, like, what I do, you don't need to read a whole book. If you're looking for information, just follow your guidance and just open to a certain page and it'll give the answer will be right there. It'll appear with just use a little bit of light, it's saying. Don't overuse the need to write or scribe. Use your intuition. And don't be stubborn. You don't need to wait for forgiveness or wait to forgive. Focus on your health and eat. The cards that came up in the read today too were forgiveness, love, partnership, and karmic completion. So the love, partnership, and completion was more important than the forgiveness. So it's saying don't worry so much about the forgiveness, focus on the connection and feed your health and your heart. So it's not so much about the food, but the love, right? The love food. That your health is best when you are engaging in love. The bottom of the deck was Father, and here we go. Health was under Father. So some of you may still need to clear some wounds with you and your father, and that'll help your health. It could also have to do with your father's health right now. Somebody might be having difficulty with their father, having a major illness, or, could be very ill. And the disconnect of the little child within you, scared to let go of your father's hand. Yeah, there may be some, maybe a father you've had issues with, and it's affecting your health. So you need to let go and forgive. That's the forgiveness. It's saying you don't need to forgive the other person. You need to forgive to help yourself, to be healthy, to be calm and happy in love. Let go of the expectations that you had about your father. Could be father in the health field as well. but both of them are reversed. So this would just be, say, you know, focus on your health and your relationship with your father. And this would be to focus on the disease and the diseased relationship with your father, right? The dis-ease. All right, because that's what causes health problems, is the unhappiness. We have trees behind that too, and for me this very, very much equates with the card from the Mary Magdalene deck of the Jesus on the cross, because that card has two lines of trees with the sun breaking through. It's the same type of thing, only this one only has, there's two trees, but it's a different angle, a different perspective. And trees were coming up as important for Anahita yesterday too, as the feminine godhead, because of Gaia, it's the connection to Gaia. So trees are important for you guys, and the health and relationship to father, and not only a bad relationship with your father or a difficult relationship with the father, but also in the health field, and also the father godhead, right? If you have a disconnect from that, which would reference a disconnect from yourself. And so therefore, you know, your health isn't as good as it could be. And it doesn't have to be about spirituality and religion. It's saying just connect with yourself. Forgive yourself and others to be in your best health, and make sure you eat enough. We're not talking about starvation or feeding the hungry right now. We're talking about you and your own health, right? Just because you're excited and you're inspired and motivated to do your work, you can't, you know, sabotage your health, because then you won't be able to do your work anymore. Make sure you take care of your health and eat properly. So now we're going to go to Journey of Love. So again, the recommendation cards in the read were past life relationship, reconciliation, heart-to-heart conversations. So that can have to do with a father figure or the masculine, right? The masculine figure in your life, which could be the divine masculine, but also the father, the father godhead, as well as the mother. But today we're talking about your connection with the father godhead. We also, like I said, have forgiveness, love partnership, and karmic completion. Letting go if you need to for your health. If someone is in your house or your life who's causing you a lot of disturbance, it may be time to disconnect from that person for your own good, for your own happiness. You have the right to live your own life as well. All right. You can choose, you can control your behavior and your reactions, but you can't control other people. And so if other people's energy is causing havoc with your life and your energy and your health, then you need to disconnect from that person. And then it's the ball's in their court. If they want to heal their wounds, then they can come back as a different person. And if they refuse to change, then that may be just someone you need to disconnect from, even if it is your father. All right, so for everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? That's it. Okay, so this is what's coming out. Very olivey. Reminds me of the military as well, the army color, the army greens. But very much about olive oil, which is funny because I made some leftovers for me and my sister when she was here for dinner. And I kept asking her, do you want olive oil or do you want butter? And she wouldn't decide. So there's very much an olive oil energy here. And again, we're talking about health, so. All right, so 3 more cards want to come out. Anything else? That's a common theme today, 1 and 3, whereas yesterday was 1 and 2. The bottom of the deck is Heaven, 70. Nice underlying energy. 70 is the 2 of Pentacles. And along with the 29 of the Spiral Dance of the Goddess, which is the 3 of Wands being present, we have the Bride offers herself. We have the Communal Dance, which is number 5. And we have the Sweet Soul Rising, and I like the combination of colors here. The Sweet Soul Rising. This is very much like the Page of Cups energy. So, and then the 5 is the Hierophant. So there's your 5. We have the 4, 5, and the 7, just like in the code line of the read. The 43 is the 3 of Cups. The 5 is the Hierophant. The 20 is the Judgment card. Sweet Judgment. It's like the Cupid being the judge. Sweet Soul Rising. I'm getting like, it's like a tribal dance where everyone circles around. She's in the vortex. She's in the blood in the midst of it. It's like a mother becoming pregnant or giving birth, right? And here's the community coming around her to support the egg, to support the new birth of the Page of Cups. With communal support, though. The bride offers herself, so that's very much about that bride energy. So it's the new birth of a relationship. The bride offers herself to Source as well, in pure innocence, in love, in a joint effort where all is one. So let's see how many cards came out here, and then I have to read you the spiral dance of the goddess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12, which is the Hangman, which is all about wisdom and seeing new perspectives. And the bottom card here is Sensual Awakening, number 64. And 64 came up with something I was reading this week, too, as something very spiritual. Oh, it had to do with temples. I forget which country it was. But it's called a 64 temple, which was very interesting because 64 is the 10 of swords, right? The ending of the pain. In the sensual awakening, you know, sensuality can very much help with pain. So like in birth, it's talking about delivery. When a woman delivers, helping her deliver to lessen the pain, using your skills and your hands to help relieve their pain. Okay, so again, the spiral dance of the goddess, number 29. And olive oil. This also reminds me of ovaries. It's very much about the female reproductive system and giving birth, okay? 29. The spiral dance of the goddess. From a point of light unfolding, we become a soul, then incarnate into a sacred body, and our lives become a work of divine art. A speck of heavenly presence manifesting itself through dimensions of time and space and into a life on earth made manifest. The extraordinary fact of your existence is a divine happening, okay? So we're just referencing the quantum leap. As though the light of the moon is dancing not only upon the water but inside of it, your ancient light is dipping into the mud of the earth. This is how the soul becomes a divine human in the making. As you sense yourself moving and shifting from light to dark and back again, from knowing to unknowing, you are weaving your consciousness, your divinity, into sacred expression, manifesting your soul essence into the form of your life. Threading the light through the darkness without even realizing you are doing it, you are gently impregnating the matter of your body, of your life, with light. Your body and your life become luminous, radiant, and you assist others even just through your presence. It sounds wonderful, and it is, yet it is not always an easy path. As the light travails through the darkness, and pain and suffering can arise in waves, it's best to be present to it. Trust that it is not a permanent condition, and wait for the spiral to twist from dark to light again, always moving closer and closer to the purity of the center and expanding outward eternally, as though you are being inhaled by the divine, filling cosmic lungs as they reach far and wide, taking in all of life. The message of this oracle to you is that you are growing. You're bringing more of your light into form. You may be meeting obstacles in yourself and in the world, but this is because you are bringing through the light. If there were nothing happening, there would be no obstacle. Bless them as signs that you are proceeding and empower them no more. You shall be, all else is just divine timing. The inner movement, the expressive flow, an outward breath of dance and light, becoming one and becoming free. Rise and be loved.